go ahead and explain what's going on here, just so that we're aware. Okay, USDT dominance. We've had this accumulation. We've talked about this accumulation way back here. Okay, we called the top of the bull run, or sorry, top of the bear market, using this model 2 accumulation. Now, there was a possibility that this model 2 accumulation, the target, or sorry, not the target, the third tap hits here. Now, that didn't happen. It was a model 2 instead of a model 1, but we were prepared for it. Why am I bringing that up? Because now we have a range. That's your range high, and this is your range low, and we are aggressively in the range high. Okay, we are in the extreme premium section of our range high, and we still not in a model 1 perspective, but we still need to keep this zone in mind, because now it's just a range zone, right? This could just turn into a range deviation ultimately, and we just continue to range forever and ever and ever. Okay, that could happen. So I'm keeping it on the chart for that reason. It's not an M1A zone anymore. It's just a range deviation zone now. So let's go ahead and change that, because I didn't do that yesterday. Range deviation question mark. Okay, that's something to note. Now, this model 2 accumulation, the technical target for the accumulation is what? Is your range high. But after you have accumulations, what are the odds that you SFP the range high and roll over? Not very high, okay? Which is why we had this big push out now, okay? So at least we're all hopefully understanding why we are where we are, how we got here, and where we're at in the macro, okay? I would imagine that we are coming for these equal highs, but just keep in mind that, USDT dominance, it's not always perfect with the wicks. So on the daily time frame, this high did not take this high out. However, on a lower time frame, which unfortunately I can't use replay mode, and I can't, if I go down to like the 12-hour time frame or something, I can't actually see if this wick took this wick out. I imagine that it didn't though, and that these are equal highs. So I do think that this high is going to go, and it would make sense with what we're about to talk about in just a moment. Okay, but for now, the most that you need to understand is that we are simply in a range now, and we're at the highs of the range. Am I saying we're gonna have a super giga bull market? No, I'm not. But we need to understand where we're at. Also, in terms of our structure, we have very clear structure that we can follow, which is you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're high or low, and then you would expect high or high. The question is, do you break out of this high or high, or do you SFP this high or high? And the answer to that is I don't know, right? In order to determine that, we can jump down to our lower term time frame, and we can watch our 4-hour pull, our 12-hour pull, etc. But these are the ideas that we have. They're very straightforward. I will keep you guys updated in real time. Okay, but that's the general premise of USDT dominance, and we are anticipating a range. Okay, that's how I got into my long yesterday. That's how I am, I've drafted up these ideas. So all longs on USDT, ultimately, depending on how deep we go and if we accumulate or not, do we have any model 2 accumulations, model 1 accumulations? Did we distribute? Did we leave liquidity, right? Depending on the price action, you guys know I don't believe in time frames. Depending on the price action, will determine how far we target these like more local ideas, because we know that it's a very high probability that we are going to take these highs out. Okay, I think so anyways. So the question is, how do we get there, right? Do we come back and sweep some highs? Do we hit, for example, 102K, which we're going to talk about in just a minute? Okay, now I'm not saying it's going to 102K, but what I'm saying is I have a clear path on what to follow and how to manage USDT dominance. Okay, USDT, this move to the upside, which is the move down on the market, gave me a lot of clarity on USDT dominance. Okay, a lot of clarity. So we're basically looking for higher, low, higher, high. And how high or low, higher, high can that be? This red pull is your primary pull. Okay, this blue pull is just your distribution pull. I actually don't need this distribution. I can see that we had a failed distribution here. Okay, and that this is the low of that failed distribution. So because of that and the context through that, you would imagine like, oh, why would this get taken out? It can get taken out because of your red pull, right? This is your internal pull. However, we can't ignore that this was a distribution. If we backtest this distro, it could do something like this, right? Which is why I have the idea here. So we're watching it. We're going to watch it. We're going to see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated in real time. But for me right now, USDT is very clear. Okay, very, very clear. So I'm going to type USDT dominance. If you understand, give me a Nexus emoji on it. It's very simple right now. It's not very hard. Not very complicated. And right now we are in a zone where, like, technically if the market, because now we're up a decent amount, right? Since yesterday, since I said, hey, this is probably going to be your daily low or your low or whatever, significant low. Now we're in pretty much the first zone where you're probably going to get like somewhat of a range. Like we're probably going to hang out here and this is going to be our range. And so I think it is time to take profit on the longs. Obviously, if it falls through, I'm going to be watching it. We can make our way down to this zone here. But again, I will keep you guys updated in real time. Okay. So USDT is quite simple, right? It's not very difficult. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin. So BitET Sizzy, just to once again reiterate what, what's going on now. Now that we have new structure and new, time frame pulls and such, we may talk about them. Okay. It makes it a lot easier. There's a lot more clarity right now with Bitcoin than there was previously, right? Because previously we had our December range that was like structure was all over the place. We didn't know if it was going to be PO3, PO3 2.0 or PO3 3.0. Clearly it was PO3 1.0, which we can't say, I can't be upset with. When I was longing and I, made my 200K and I said that we're very likely going to go to 96K, I discredited this model one distribution, etc. I said that not as soon as 96K hits, I'm content with that being the top, right? I deleted it, but I made a YouTube video about it as well. I drew like this like circle thing and I said we could have an internal accumulation, which would give you a lower high to make a lower low. Okay. It's somewhere in the Nexus. I'm too lazy to find it, but it's somewhere there. That idea happened, right? It happened absolutely perfectly. We had it 40 days in advance. The only thing is that we left this zone, right? This 102 to 104, we left that unmitigated. And so I didn't know if the top was going to be where we were. And by the way, I shorted this. Okay. And I took profit on my longs there. I didn't know if the top was going to be there or here. And clearly it was here instead of here. So why is that important now? It's important now because if we pull up our structure, what do we have? A few weeks ago, actually it was right over, how many weeks ago was that? 125 days. So 3-4 months ago, I also made a YouTube video about this. And I said that your weekly structure for the very first time on this entire bull run has flipped bearish. Okay. The structure was up, down, up, down, up, down, and break. When that broke bearish, we knew that the weekly flipped bearish, but the monthly at the time was still bullish. The good thing about touching the 74K low finally is that we have new structure, as you can see on the chart. Monthly time frame is not bearish yet. Okay. So we have a pending monthly boss right now. Now today's February the 6th. Okay. We have a lot of days where we can, let's move to the monthly chart. We have a lot of days right now where this could turn effectively into an SFP. Okay. This is not actually a break yet. And that's why I said pending monthly boss. Yesterday, I gave you guys an update and I deleted it after like 1 minute because I didn't realize at the time when I posted, I got a little excited. And I was like, hey, this is bearish. It's not bearish yet. Okay. But the good thing is that we can now gut the range. We can gut it. Okay. And the reason we can gut it is because we have a new swing point, as we know. Now, here's the deal with this swing point. Let's keep it in mind. Let's jump down to like, I don't know, 18-hour time frame or something. Okay. Here's the thing with this. Whether this turns into an SFP or not, it doesn't matter. Okay. Why doesn't it matter? Because either way, we either have a boss here. Okay, it's either a break of structure, which you're expecting a lower high, lower low, or it turns into an SFP. How do I personally confirm the SFP? Well, I need to see a lower time frame market structure flip in order to confirm the SFP, which means effectively we would be targeting the all-time high. Well, what's your first structure flip that you see? It's all the way up at 97K because we've been virtually straight down. Okay, why does any of this matter? Because either way, whether it's a break of structure or an SFP, either way, Bitcoin needs to get above here. If Bitcoin can get above 10, this zone in general, 102, 104, maybe 106. I absolutely believe that we are going to make our way up to the all-time high. Okay, if it does that. And based on your higher time frame structure, it would be what? It would either be lower high, lower low, which is valid, or because we missed this zone, it would be higher high, but that would be an SFP. Perhaps we form some form of PO3 like this and then lower low, or it would be higher high and then a back test and we look for this. That's it. Or it would be a break and then breaker block and then up. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. It's the same idea. Okay, it's the same idea across the board. It doesn't matter if it breaks or it doesn't break. And this is something that I think that most people will get wrong. Okay, most people will get wrong. I think that what could happen, what Max Payne, I would imagine what Max Payne scenario is we close the month below and then everybody thinks it's a boss or like structure just broke and everyone's freaking out. And then we pop up, we hit this guy. Okay, then everybody thinks we're back. Oh my God, we just went back to bullish and then we roll it over. That I imagine is the Max Payne scenario because people don't understand how to watch structure, how to interpret it. Okay, so we are going to be prepared for everything. And now if I hide my GTF structure, my Giga time frame, and I pull my TA back up, you'll see that what I did yesterday, I streamed yesterday. I didn't save it. I just was in the lounge for like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe by myself, with no voice. Like I wasn't by myself, but I was with no voice. Okay. And that's why I drafted up my plan as such. Okay. So last night I said, hey, you know, if we come back down to take the low, we have a very important zone between, let's just say, give or take 60K and 57K. If it goes any lower than this, Bitcoin is absolutely going to get destroyed, in my opinion, like completely demolished. I think if we lose 57K, there's really nothing below here to me that's going to stop you prior to like, I don't think this SFP is going to stop you at all. I don't think 42K will hold. I think if we lose 57K, it's not going to be in one shot, okay? But I think if we lose 57K, I think we're coming to, at the very minimum, like 33K. That's how important this zone is, okay? So if we come back down and we take the low, right, then we are obviously looking for swing longs. And if we don't take the low and we just put in a higher low, that is also acceptable. Why is this acceptable? Because if we don't accumulate down here, then that increases the likelihood of getting the lower high, lower low, which we already have the idea of, or the higher high, fake everybody out, and then lower low. I don't need an accumulation down here to talk about these higher prices. What could happen is no different than what did happen in like December when I had it drawn and what I just showed you, which was we put in a low and then we have some form of internal accumulation. That internal accumulation sets you up for the lower high, lower low, or the higher high SFP and then lower low. Kind of looks like a spider. Stranger Things, worst finale in history, right? So that's why these ideas on the high time frame are drafted as such. We are shooting up. All of my long targets right now are up towards 81-ish, 82K. And you think, Gio, we're at 67. You're being crazy. It's not that crazy because, yeah, those are swing trades. And yeah, that's a far distance away. But like I said, yesterday was weird price action. I've never seen price action the way yesterday was. It moved so much, yet it moved so slow. It was weird, right? What goes down slow and weird can go up slow and weird, or fast and weird, right? So, you know, like I said, the 2-minute candle was like $400 yesterday. So it's very volatile is my point. Okay. That's my point. It's very, very volatile. So we're looking for longs in this zone. Okay. If we're scalping, like I said, based on USDT dominance, we have a range going on. So we're looking for a range to form and we're trading the range, but we need to understand where we are. If we lose 56, 57K, I think we're going to 30K. I'm not even joking. So it's a very important zone. And that's why I ended up buying spot yesterday, like I told you guys, on Ethereum and Solana. Okay. So we're trading this range in the local stuff, and I'll update you in real time because this price action has not developed yet. You guys know I always update you in real time. Here we have a 30-minute block. I'm looking for higher low or lower low. It doesn't matter. Okay? And they're swing longs up to 81K. At the minimum, 81K. Minimum. Because I don't think this shit's going to do anything. I think these ugly highs are going to get taken out. I even think 80K will get taken out and we will make it up to 90, but we'll see. It depends. Again, it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen overnight, but it depends on what happens here, and I will guide you guys through it. Okay? Through what I do anyway. Aside from that, all of these lower highs, remember, based on our structure, it's very simple. Up until we break 111K on the high time frame, we are bearish. Okay? So we're looking for lower high, lower low. Right? I know I'm saying if we lose 57K, I think we're going to go to 30K. Well, we very well might do that. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and say we're not going to 30K. We could. So all of these could be swing shorts. Right? They could be. All 4 of them. Meanwhile, we could have swing longs here. We don't know. How do we navigate it? We trade the ranges. We look for accumulations. We look for distributions. Bitcoin, to me right now, I don't think has ever been more clear. It is super clear right now. Very, very clear. Very, very easy. Okay? It's just, do you have the patience to wait for what's good? Which is what I say all the time. So if anybody understands, or if everybody understands BTC, give me a Nexus emoji, please, and thank you. Seems pretty simple, right? Does anybody have any questions about USDT or Bitcoin? I didn't do anything else. This whole thing took me about an hour and a half, took me about 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours yesterday to figure this whole plan out. And this is what I'm sticking to. I think it looks good. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, because this is going to be the narrative that I play for the next probably couple months. So if you have any questions, now's the time. Wait on BTC, the range high is that 30-minute supply. Well, here's the thing. Which 30-minute supply? No, we don't know the range yet. Right? We don't have the range yet because we have our very clear low, which I said I think this is probably going to be the low. And now we're waiting for the confirmation of the range, and then we're going to trade the range. Why did it take me so long to figure out? Because I had to clean up the old chart. I had to, you know, look at structure, figure out what's going on with USDT, delete the zones, find new zones, build the narrative. Listen, I'm a very technical trader, but I build context in what's going on. You know, I take all things into consideration. And that's how, for example, like I don't just do this, for example, because I don't think you were around in December, Mr. Duderino. Oh, you're trolling? Okay. I'm starting to learn that you troll a lot. So now I know. But anyways, I'm going to answer the question anyways. You know, everybody on Twitter and whatever were like, oh, yeah, that's a distribution, blah, blah, blah. And I discredited that. And it's because of context. Okay, now I know, bro. My bad. I didn't know you troll like that hard. It's like the second or third time now that happened. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. Is that 30-minute block the range high? Yeah, it could be, bro. It could be. It definitely could be. 100%. 100%. We're looking for it now. You know, we are looking for it. But this is an important zone. Did that get hit? Yeah, that definitely could be the range high. Oh, it did get hit here. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. It could be. And for me, I'm going to navigate using USDT dominance. Because Bitcoin is very clear to me right now, but USDT is the most clear it's ever been in forever. Right? We are... What did I draw for you guys yesterday? I literally drew this exactly. I drew this. I drew this. I drew this. And then I drew range. That exact thing is what I drew yesterday. So this is absolutely 100% what I'm playing. Am I expecting to continue to pump right now? No, I'm not. Right? I'm not. But do we have this zone that's unmitigated? Yes, we do. So maybe we get one more pump. And now that we did that, let's put alerts there. By the way, just a reminder, I did delete my alerts folders in the TA. Not because I don't love you guys, but because I'm not getting alerts. So I'm going back to manual alerts and I'm trying it. Okay, I'm having some issues with TradingView. I think many of us are having issues with TradingView right now. So I'm just letting you know, if you like look through and you don't see the alerts there, that's why. Because I deleted it because it's not working. Okay, this I don't need anymore. This I don't need anymore. We are looking for our range. Okay. Okay, so we don't have our rate No, we don't have the range yet. We don't have the range yet. Right now, what you would be looking for, so we are anticipating from here that we may see a rejection because this is one of our zones, okay? If we get a market structure flip, which we don't have currently, you need this low to go, okay? If this low goes, then what? Then that's telling you that this order block is likely going to hold. And so we can short like a reconfirmation because this is demand. We can short a reconfirmation here and take it down to maybe here, take it down to maybe these ugly lows. And we're looking for a range, okay? That's what, but we're basically trying to front run where the range is, but we're looking for the range high right now. We called the range low. I called the range low. That I was like, yeah, that's definitely the low. I'm like, there's no way. And the reason I said that is because we remember we had that very slow price action and then we had the big move down, which usually is what ends this kind of price action. So now this is a range in itself, which we can trade. And this, to be honest, because USDT dominance, this is why USDT is the number one ticker and the only indicator you need. Because USDT dominance never hit this demand zone, we are anticipating, I mean, it's looking like an accumulation here. This looks like a potential distribution, right? The question is, do we have a lower high here or do we have a higher high? And because USDT has not hit this guy yet, we got to be prepared for one more high and then something like this. And so this becomes a clear short on USDT. It's this general zone, right? It's either this, it's either up and flip in there, or it's lower low, this, or it's lower low, higher high, and then down. But either way, we're looking for rejection from this zone, and we're looking to play whatever time frame range they give us, you know, should that happen, right? And I imagine the range, I don't think the range is going to be this whole thing. Okay, this potential range, I don't think it's going to be this. I don't think so. Even if it touches the midpoint line, I mean, it could be. But I think that this is the better range to be watching for, and then we will adjust if necessary. Yeah, man, it's going to be, that's the thing, is it's going to be, it is what it is, you know, with this kind of price action. Like I said, the moves, yesterday was so weird, man. We dumped so much, but it was like a slow controlled dump. It was like a consistent $1,000 every hour for like 12 hours, 13 hours. You know, it was so weird. It was like the most consistent just until the end. Then that's when it became inconsistent. But that was the inefficiency, and then that marked the low. Right? So that's basically what we're looking at right now here locally. But if everybody understands BTC and everybody understands USDT, then, you know, we're good and we're in business and we have very clear long zones. And like I said, I do think it is absolutely time to take profit on the longs if you have not already done so. I absolutely believe that. We're going to be paying attention to this zone. Whoops. Great. Yeah, BTC is very clear and simple. Man, you know, sometimes when we get a move out, I almost feel relieved because it's not so complicated anymore. You know, like I'm actually truly relieved. Truthfully, I am relieved right now because it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier. Makes it much, much easier. Okay, so here's the deal. Here is the deal. If we come up and we take the high again, we're going to get rid of this potential range. We know we're looking for a potential range. If we come up and sweep the high again, then we are looking for shorts down to, I would say, maybe here. If not, we do have a 1 hour zone, by the way, that we left, which could be your higher low, higher high, right? We left that. And if this is going to be a high, we have our GP in that zone as well. Okay. And for me, so that's an idea. If we lose this low, so these are scalps, I would say, actually, maybe not. This is either this or it's this. I don't know which one it is. So we're looking for this. We're looking for this. And I think this would be a lower high, lower low too, because your POC is there. And lately what's been happening, by the way, what's been happening is when we are in any range or any up volume or anything like you see here, and we lose this POC, it's been getting absolutely cooked. Okay. So the better zones, the higher probability zones, the non-scalp zones, like maybe day trade zones, is this, right? This 1 hour zone over here. So that would be a pretty good move down. That's like a 6% move to the downside. Okay. And that would take you, in my opinion, up to here. Like 75-ish at least. Oh, I already have that here. Okay. I think it would actually take you higher than that, though. I think we would go to 81, 82 from there. Okay. And then obviously if we sweep the low, which we discussed yesterday, there's that. I don't know what this line is. What is this line? I don't need that. Okay. So those are two bigger ideas. Make sure our alerts are good. Okay, alert. And then I don't need this one. And then these are all scalps. These ones are all scalps. This are all scalps. And the taking the high could take you down to there. I prefer this one. This is my preferred one. The taking the high one. And then roll it over. I think that's the easiest to trade. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay. These are all scalps though. So I'm not going to put positions on the scalps. I'm just going to keep it as like that. Okay. Pretty simple plan. We have nice volatility. So, you know, we'll find a couple trades for the day for sure. Hopefully. Not for sure. Nothing's for sure. But that's what I'm looking for. And we're looking for a range. Okay. We're trying to find our range. Where is our range? I don't know. But we could have just put in the range high. Trading something like this. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns. Last and final chance. So anywhere where we're at right now, we have scalp longs. Okay. And remember, I'm just navigating it through USDT. Nothing more, nothing less than USDT, right? Because we have this zone below where we're at right now, we could get something like SFP of this high, roll it over, hit this. That's your model 1 accumulation and then out. Right? So we need to be prepared for that. Otherwise, it's just going to go for all of this, which is pretty simple. Let's see if we have any zones here. Yeah. We have this and we have this. Actually, this is the best one up here. This is definitely 100% the best one. So I would look for scalp longs on the market here. Scalp longs only. Down to this low. And also here. Down to this low. And then this is nuke it. Nuke the shit out of it. He bought, nuke it. That's what that is. And that will probably, I imagine, take you up to here. And this zone is the equivalent to like Bitcoin's 1 hour demand. Okay, so BTC 1 hour demand. So we'll have an alert there. We have alert here. We're good. Pretty much easy plan. Easy plan. And if this fails, then guess what? We look for that. Very simple. Easy peasy. Andrew Tate bought, dump it again. Yeah. I got unmitigated 30-minute supply in the selling wick. Anything you can do, I can do better. Anything you can do, I can do now. Okay. What did you say about R7? Didn't even see the PO3. Yes, this could be a PO3. Absolutely, it could be. 100 million trillion bazillion %. Scalp stream. I can't. I actually have appointments. And I got some stuff I gotta do. So I'm not even gonna be around. I'm around today, but I'm not around in the morning. So I'll be around in the afternoon. I'm not like really actively trading today. Because I gotta go do some stuff. I'm trading, but you know, I'm not at the desk all day like I normally am with no life and no girlfriend. Okay. So that's BTC and that is USDT. Okay. Over the weekend, actually, you know what? Let's talk about Ethereum real quick since we're here. We are in my, and I told you guys this yesterday, we are in my, this was actually labeled all-in zone. Okay, yeah, like right here, all in, see? And here's the idea behind this all-in zone. This is why I bought spot Ethereum, actually. Here's the idea behind it. I'm going to go and do the whole TA and you know, I will, exactly what I did on Bitcoin and USDT on the high time frame, whatever. I will do that on Ethereum and on Solana, but I can't do that right now because I have appointments like I just said. Okay. So here's the thing though, just to give you guys a glimpse and why I was thinking this. We have our basically point of control. Okay. Not basically, we have our point of control since 2021. Okay. In this zone. And this is a Nexus demand zone. Okay. 1900, whatever. This was the sell to buy that broke this structure, this structure, this structure, this structure, and the all-time high. When we longed in April of last year, 1497, and I said this is going to the all-time high, this is the part that kind of messed my trade up a little bit. Okay, so this was my all-in zone because if you lose this zone, what do you have? And we've talked about this before. Phoenix and I both have discussed this. What do you have? This is your range. We're just going to be objective. Sorry to the Ethereum maxis. If there are any. I don't know who's an Ethereum maxi, but if there are any. What do you have? You have your range deviation. Okay. This looks like a PO3, or not a PO3. An M1D. This looks like an M1D on a higher scale. And yes, that is valid for me. So, and you have nothing but liquidity here. So are we going there? I don't know. But I'll tell you where I do know the answer to that. It's if we lose this zone that we just put in. Okay. And that's exactly why I ended up buying spot. Because we had our anomaly drop. Right? Like I said many times already on this stream, when you get slow, weird price action, and then you get this, and that happens the moment Asia opens, yeah, okay, my ass. And that happened right in our long zone. So that's why I long that. So I'll do full TA on Ethereum a little bit over the weekend and a little bit later. I just can't right now. I got to go run. I got to go do appointments and stuff. But that's why I bought spot Ethereum. And I don't buy anything in bull markets. Okay. So obviously it's a bear market now. That's undeniable. I think you'd be a fool to deny that. But I do not buy in bear markets, and this is like a really nice zone. Do I think this is the low? No, I don't. But well, no, I don't. It could be. But if it isn't, and I see sign up here of like distribution, and I'm like, oh, this shit is cooked, then I'll just sell for a profit here. Like I'm not holding this for years. Okay. So yeah, I'll do TA on Ethereum and so forth a little bit later. Does anyone have any questions about anything that we just went over? Or may I please be dismissed? I know New York's about to open, but I have an appointment in 15 minutes. I gotta run. Actually, in half an hour. Not 15 minutes. Questions, comments, concerns, and I'll clean this all up. We're gonna do whole TA. Thanks, bro. Dismissed. You're very welcome. The none of the TA is different from yesterday. You know what? I'll make a copy anyway. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Let's make a copy. Let's share this. That's the newest one. So right now, I would be looking for scalp longs to take out the high. Okay, scalp long here, maybe. To take out this high. And or we would be looking for lower high here. And New York just opened, so maybe we get a scam pump and dump. Maybe we get this. Or this. But I would say scalp long now into day trade-ish short is my plan. Okay, we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Anything after this high is acceptable for shorts, in my opinion, which we're probably going to head for right now. Okay, I got to run. So one love. Be good. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Stay wealthy. And I will see you guys very, very soon. And if Jabs is in here, Jabs, are you in here or no? I need to know if you're in here, Jabby Patty. Because if you're in here, I'll give you what you want, the song. If you're not in here, then you don't get the outro. Okay, there you go. You're coming for the high, which means you're coming for this low on USDT dominance. Can't say we didn't know. Can't say we didn't expect that. Well, that's assuming we even make it there, obviously. And my exchange is super laggy. Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. So shorts are... Oh, yeah, okay. We're probably going to go for the high right now. Exactly as predicted. Good morning, good morning. Come on, man. Hit the dang target. Hurry up. I gotta go. Someone tell Alicia Keys to hurry up. In New York. Oh, my days. Hit the target. Hit the target. Hit the damn target. Well, this could be a Model 2, right? So, unfortunately, there's no way for me to trade this. Unless you want to do 30-second stuff. Which, save that for my girl. Okay, I'm out. One love, Nexus. One love.